In today's class, we will be discussing about the management of intellectually challenged children. So, in the previous classes and all, we already learned about how to manage a physically challenged child and how to manage a socially challenged child. So, let's see in detail regarding what are the management aspects we can do for an intellectually challenged child. Okay. So, what is intellectual disability? So, intellectual disability is otherwise known as ID and it is also known as mental retardation. So, it is characterized by below average intelligence and the lack of skills which are necessary for the day to day activities or day to day living. So, here the children with the intellectual disability they may lack the necessary skills which is needed for their day to day activities. So, usually the children with these kind of intellectual disabilities they can do and learn new skills like others but it may take more time, that is usually their abilities building will be taking place in a very slow way. So that is the difference between the intellectual disability child and a normal child. So don't think the intellectual disability children cannot learn a new skills or a new activity. Even they also can do that but they need more time. Okay, let's see what are the signs of intellectual disabilities in children. So there may be so many symptoms like they may be having a late walking or rolling over or sitting up or crawling etc because their all their normal growth and development will be delayed than the other children's. Then talking late or they may be having trouble with talking. So usually by the month of 4 and 5 the children they usually start to produce certain kinds of behavior, and by month of 6 they usually call by mama dada and all. But here in these children they may be having a difficulty in talking or they will be talking very late. Then certain trainings like their potty training, then dressing and feeding himself or herself, all these activities will be delayed than the other children. Then apart from that, they may be having difficulty in remembering the things. Then inability to connect the actions with their consequences. Then they may be having behavioral problems like a severe temper tantrum or angriness, crying, etc. Then they may be also having the problems with the difficulty with the problem solving skills or logical thinking, etc. So all these are the major clinical manifestations in a child which indicate that the child is having an intellectual disability. Okay. Next, we'll see what are the causes of this intellectual disability among the children. So, first one, it is believed that this mainly caused due to certain genetic conditions like Down syndrome, that is trisomy 21, and Fragile X syndrome. So, genetic plays a very important role. If in the family also, if anybody has the immediate relative, they have this kind of disease condition, the chances of developing in the newborn child also very high. Then, any problems happening during the pregnancy. So this thing can interfere with the fetal brain development, so which may include the alcohol intake or any drug abuse by the mother during the period of pregnancy or maternal malnutrition or certain kind of infections happening to the mother or any preeclampsia. So all these symptoms during pregnancy can also affect the intellectual development of the child. Then problems happening during childbirth. So apart from the problems happening during pregnancy, there are certain problems which can develop during the childbirth period. So, which may include the baby is not getting adequate amount of oxygen during the time of vaginal delivery, then birth asphyxia. So, all are the condition or immature baby. So, all these situations there are chances for decreased oxygen supply to the brain, which will be leading to an intellectually disability. Okay. Next one is regarding any illness or injury that is happening in the period. So infections like meningitis, then whooping cough or measles, then encephalitis. Then apart from that, injuries like a head injury, which can cause a defect in the intellectual development of the child, and this may lead to intellectual disability. Then severe head injury, then near drowning, then extreme protein energy malnutrition during the growth period, then infections of the brain, then exposure to severely toxic substances like lead, then mercury, then neglect of the child, and early abuse of the child by the parents or the caregivers or by the relatives. All these all are the major reason for the development of intellectual disability. Then next one, let's see what are the problems faced by these intellectually challenged children. So first of all, I said you already, these children, they may learn the new skills, but usually it will take time, or their all the activities will be very slow. Hence, these children will be socially isolated by the other normal children. So if we send these children to school also, there also they may be having low self-esteem and poor academic performance, etc. So all these activities together make this child as a socially isolated one by the other children. Okay. Then next is low self-esteem because of their decrease the capacity and poor academic performances, they may be developing a self-esteem. Then loneliness, even in the school also, no other children will be talking with them, or nobody is interested to play with them, and they may be feeling social isolation, and all these children may leads to loneliness. Then medical problems is very common. So children usually suffer having this mental retardation. They may be having the other health problems also, like decreased vision, then decreased hearing ability, poor motor activities, etc. So they may be associated with the medical problems. Then now we'll see how we can manage these children. Okay, so this is very important because as like other children, the socially or physically or mentally handicapped children also managed, because they also given the appropriate opportunity to grow as an independent individual. So hence we have to encourage independence in them. So one method to make these children independent is by breaking the complex activities into simple ones. So what we can do is the complex activities can be reduced and it can be given as a small task so that the child can solve it by himself. So once the child start to himself all these problems, he may develop a feeling of what a confidence, inner confidence he will develop. So that is one thing. The next one, follow up on the academic progress. So the parents, they can accompany the child to the school, or they can attend the teacher PTA meetings and find out what are the strength and weakness of that particular child. So based upon that, they can educate the child and they can provide adequate training to the child. Then they can educate themselves. In the sense, raising a mentally challenged child may be most of the time very challenging and difficult for the parents. So these parents, they can attend the counseling section with experts and they can gain more knowledge like how they can overcome the difficulties. Okay, the next one is regarding network. So network in the sense, there are so many children like these children will be there. So the parents can make a social interaction as well as a social network with those parents where they can share their experiences, or where they can share their ideas to how to raise these children. Okay, next one is regarding socialization. So socialization is one of the important factor because most of the children's parents, those children, they are having this mentally retarded, they won't allow their children to cope up with or communicate with others or to interact with others. That is not a good thing, has to be followed. So here the parents has to make the child socially interacted with everyone, hence there will be a inner confidence will develop, and this will help in developing the network as well as the socialization. So next is routine development. Routine. So here the mothers as well as the parents, they can feel a routine activities within the child, like they can, because most of the time these children cannot be sent to school because of certain kind of stress and all. So a routine activity can be developed so the child can follow that particular routine every day. The next one is prize and reward. So this has got a major role in the development. So here the parents has to encourage their child through a reward system. So these will helps to boost their inner confidence as well as the self confidence. And most of the time the parents has to make sure that avoid any kind of negative punishments, and these negative punishments can demotivate them. So instead of doing demotivation, always give certain kinds of reward and try to prize the child, hence a kind of self confidence is developed in the child. Okay, so next is regarding the behavior management. So behavior management also one of the important factor to be considered while giving care to the this mentally retarded child. So the parents can divert their mind. So this will be a good idea in certain situations. Like certain situation, they will be very angry. They may not be cope up with that particular situation. In such situation, the parents can change their mind by giving certain some likely toys or changing the subjects or putting some TV channels, etc. So, or they can give some headphone to the childrens and make them to listen to the good music, and also this will helps in the changing of the subject as well as the diverting of the mind. Next is regarding the rehabilitation, how we can rehabilitate these children. To enable the children, or what are the major goals of rehabilitation? So, to enable the children with the mental retardation to improve their functional abilities and thereby enhancing their quality of life. Then, to enhance and improve the functions in all areas of child development. The next one, we have to prevent the secondary disabilities through certain therapies like physiotherapy, then speech therapy, yoga therapy, and play therapy can be given to the child. These will be very helpful for them to develop their confidence, and thus we can rehabilitate these children. Then, to promote the acceptance of the child's family and the disability. So the parents also taught regarding accepting the child as he is. The next one, to give special education for the young children with a disability through early intervention programs like yoga, then play therapy, occasional training, etc. So that also has to be considered. Then prayer can be given, yoga, then individualized educational programs based upon the child's need, then self-care skills, then group activities, storytelling, art and craft making, then gross and fine motor activities, teaching, dance, gardening. All these are the activities we can provide to mentally retarded child, because all these activities help them in the development of a confidence, and a new skill also can be developed. So these all are regarding the prevention and management of mentally retarded or intellectually disabled child. So thank you.